So the first question is, what has been your most awkward distance learning moment so far this year?
The first week of school when my children were distance learning as well, and I had their schedule and like our schedule in my mind. And so I showed up 10 minutes late to my fourth period class, but I thought they were all there early because I thought I was early. And I was like, wow, everybody's here already. Wow, you guys are doing awesome. And then like the chat starts going like, no, class started 10 minutes ago and you just weren't here.
I mean, it was really, I've had a couple of things. Once it was really hard for me when I got kicked out of the network for like 2 weeks. The first 2 days it wouldn't let me on. And so the kid, like I completely missed class and the kids were asking where I was. But like in person, I can say
that is true. It did happen.
Yeah, I have kids that come to class and they don't have a shirt on. And that is very awkward for me. Yeah, the no shirt. I've had 3 boys with no shirts on and 2 people in bed with no shirt on. Very awkward. You want to let them know it's not okay to do, but you don't want to hurt their feelings or anything. But at the same time, very inappropriate.
Well, my mic goes out all the time. Every time I plug in my dot cam, students can see what I'm writing. When I unplug it and then try to teach again, my mic doesn't work anymore. So the first time that happened, I taught 45 minutes through the chat session, and every single one of my students stayed. Not one left. The students are amazing. So I have mic issues all the time. I just had Celeste on with me last night trying to fix my mic. It's a nightmare.
Okay, our next question is the weirdest place you've logged on from?
Driving to Arizona in my car. But that was just for the club fair, not for teaching.
In my house. Right now I'm in my home gym. That's my new office. But so that's kind of weird to be teaching out of like, the workout space. I don't ever come here. This is my husband's room. I do not use this room. But I did do office hours with a student, and I was picking up one of my own children. And so I had my daughter, who's 11, holding the phone like up in the front seat. So I was like talking with my student while I was driving. And I was like, Greta, you need to like push join meeting right now. I'm supposed to be in a meeting right now. But normally I'm just at home.
When I was working summer school, I was at Yellowstone. I was the principal for summer school there. Service wasn't very good. I might as well have been working.
Well, no, but I had a mishap. I still haven't figured it out. I went to school one day to unload lumber from my trailer. And I went in between classes. I have third period prep and lunch, so I had about 2 hours that I could do this in, and then I figured that I would log on at school. So at 12:40, I get on my computer and I start to log on. Password didn't work. I tried 20 different passwords and it didn't work. So at 12:50, I decided to go home. And I had my trailer with me, so I drove 98 miles an hour to get home. Just exaggeration. Now I drove about, it took me 15 minutes to get home. I log on to see if anybody's there. I think all the kids are going to be on. They're all there. They're all waiting for me. It took like, I don't know, maybe a half hour. So no strange places, but I had one mishap. Couldn't believe it. It was unreal. They're SDA kids.
So do you guys have any like best excuses for being late to class?
I have a student who just says, sorry, I was sleeping.
Well, I'm not late because I was actually at school, and then I drove home, but I was at school. I've never heard that before. I mean, it didn't exist.
I had a student come 2 weeks late to school.
Way tardy.
That's
Well,
like,
yeah, it was pretty tardy. I couldn't understand his reasoning because it's online, but his reason was he wasn't immunized. I thought, well, what difference does that make? So he missed the first 2 weeks of class.
Paige, I've just had generic things like, I was having brunch with my grandma, or I overslept, or I was at the airport. It's hard to log in from the airport.
I'm just getting the typical, like my Wi-Fi cut out. I'm having Wi-Fi issues.
Every time a student says, sorry I'm late, my internet wasn't working. I'm like,
funny things have you seen your teachers doing? Anything? Vice versa?
I've seen one of my teachers, like, their toddler came into the room and just, like, started climbing on them. It was fun.
Yeah, my Coda's daughter comes into our class a lot, and she always just smiles at the camera, and she'll like talk to her, and it's so cute.
What's your guys' most common technical difficulty?
Right problems.
Using Google Forms, kids can't turn in their work sometimes. But that's the biggest thing. It's going pretty smooth.
Yeah, I've given up on those things. There's always like 4 or 5 kids that are on the wrong browser, or they don't realize they're in your personal account, and it's like the exit question turns into like a nightmare. So now the exit question happens in the chat box. And the mic is tough. And I used to lose sound when I work on a Google Chromebook, but I gave up trying to work from home from a Google Chromebook. So, but always the mic. I'm always talking and the mic's not on. Or I'm teaching them and they're like, Ms. Bodie, you're not sharing your screen. I'm like, oh gosh.
That's a good one. One time at the very beginning, I think it was the first week. So I start each of my classes with a music video and a song. So as the kids log on, there's a video playing for them. And I was still learning how to share screens and whatnot. So I went to go share the YouTube video of this music video, but I accidentally shared the actual meat. And so the kids they couldn't hear the music. I went on taking attendance. It was the first week, so it was taking a really long time to take attendance. And so I was taking attendance, and all of a sudden I looked up, and all of the kids, the chat box was just feeding, and all of the kids were going, "This is horrible." And they were all writing in the chat box, "Oh my God, what do we do? Do we leave? Let's bail and come back. Maybe she doesn't even know what's happening. Like, look at how happy she is." And they were, so I look up and I'm like, what is everybody freaking out about? And so then I start reading the chat and I realize that they're all hearing some god awful, like, that's super high pitched and super loud. And it was because I shared the meat itself, and it was all interference. Even by the time I knew that they were actually suffering, I still had to like read what was going on because I had no idea what was happening.
That's funny. What about you, Miss Ferris? Do you have any awkward distance learning moments?
You're muted, dear. Oh, that's the real good one. I'm always talking and I'm muted. That's pretty awkward.